Smile.
Okay.
Ash, before you say anything, I'm sorry, but when people are just being your friends or not, if they're going to be dishonest, they're going to like dance around things and then claim to be better than they are and then just do the same thing they just said they don't do. I'm going to call them out for it.
I
So
know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm on a bit of a roll tonight. I'm in a hell of a good mood.
No,
I
it's
just
okay. I'll,
I'm
I'll,
just
I'll,
I'm going to take a lap.
okay. Allison, I wish you would have waited to block Milo. I wanted to ask him a question, but it's okay. I don't mind you blocking him. So, uh, for ages. Okay. Well, give me a minute. Hi, Nick. Can I get your age?
I'm 28.
And do you have a problem with the trans community?
No, I was just wanted to chime in on that religion thing, but I was in the waiting room.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can chime in if you want to, or you can continue it. We do not mind. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So I think religion has a purpose, it like solves some philosophical issues for you, and I think it helps people. And I don't like if I could take a magic wand and just like erase religion right now, I don't think I would just do that.
But I think everybody has the right to believe what they want.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. I do believe in that freedom of religion, freedom from religion. I'm a huge proponent of that. I agree.
Because I mean, does everybody have to believe? No. But for the ones that do, it's okay. If that's the way they believe, who am I to say that anybody has the right to believe or not believe? No, I'm nobody. I have my faith. Salty has his faith. We all have different faiths, but it's okay. We're not one human is the same, and it's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think that's the best way I can say it. Unless I'm saying it wrong, Nick, please tell me. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be mean to you at all. I don't know if there's a better way to say it. Maybe you can. If I don't say it right, maybe you can.
I think religion it solves certain issues like what happens after you die, what's the meaning of life, and how to live your life being a moral person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you go the atheist route, you kind of have to do a lot of work to solve all of those things on your own.
That's
And
bullshit.
sometimes
That's absolute bullshit. You're basically saying
it's
that
not.
religion, it is bullshit. You're basically saying that an atheist cannot have the same morals or does not have as good of morals as somebody who's been like brought through the system of church and Christianity, has been
So
fed a
that's
bunch
not what
of
I'm saying.
nonsense.
That is
It's
not
exactly
what I'm
what you said, though. It is exactly what you said. It said that an atheist has to go through
Nick,
more
what
work.
did you mean then?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, religion
Clarify.
gives you all the answers, but if you're an atheist, you have to actually go find the answers for yourself.
They don't give you the answers. They give you a answer.
I know, they give you
It's
an
an
answer.
Yeah, but who says it's right?
Well, who says being an atheist is right?
Who says no? What I said was, who says the answers are right that you get from your little book that some guy named Paul wrote?
You think I'm religious or something?
No, I don't know you at all. But
I'm
you
an
are
atheist.
okay. Then I'm really confused here.
Like
You're basically saying that religion is how you can get your moral base easily, whereas if you're an atheist, it's a harder battle to get those morals and where you belong in society. Is that what you said, or did I hear you incorrectly?
What I'm saying is religion hands you all the answers, and some
Okay.
people just want the answers handed to them.
If they're right or wrong, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. People are stupid generally, so yeah, I definitely would give you that.
I think everything in life kind of has that, though. That makes sense. Like, you could say the same thing about different education systems around the world. Like, do you know what I mean?
How so?
As in, like, how do you know that what education is teaching the young generations that that's the right or wrong thing? Do you get what I'm saying? Get what I'm
What do
saying?
you mean,
It's how.
like math? Like math or
Oh no! I'm talking about like PHE and stuff, PHSE and stuff like that, for example, and like
HSE? Philosophy?
philosophy, sociology, SMEX ed, all that type of stuff, and also like,
Well,
for
philosophy is just
example,
kind of a
the
bullshit thing.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the whole thing, isn't it? It's like there's so many different. I'm agreeing with both of you, by the way.
I know.
There's so many different like factors to it, because you could take like a teacher, for example, or even like with the religion, like a parental generational interpretation of it impacts
Yeah.
the way you're raised, impacts the way you see certain morals or act on
Oh,
certain morals as
sure.
well.
Yeah. Look at boomers
So
versus X versus generational. For sure. I
yeah,
agree.
exactly. Yeah. So
But
like
as
when
far as
I
education goes, the one thing I'm pushing back a little bit is that your types of education that are pretty standard, like your maths, your sciences, that's not going to change by interpretation. It is what it is. You know, the
oh
science,
no, absolutely not. Yeah, but
as you
I
know,
would
the scientific community is very specific, and like you know, artistic or interpretational of history or anything like that. You know, I guess there can be differences, but I don't see how it's like religion, where you're getting people to believe in an imaginary person in the sky versus
yeah.
science.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Sorry, I was more leaning into like different teaching styles, if that makes
Okay,
sense,
go
and
ahead.
how different policies and guidelines make certain topics mandatory versus don't. For example, like different countries
Oh,
or something like that, like will go, oh, you have this is the basic thing you have to learn to get by in life, like that type of thing.
understood. Yeah,
Does
I
that make
do
sense?
get
Sorry,
that.
I said it the wrong. Sorry, I'm an educator, but I'm very tired,
Oh
so
no,
I'm
I
trying
get
to
it. I can tell.
just trying to
I've
word
listened
it.
to you. You're a smart person. I get it.
Thank you, I
Um,
appreciate that.
and
Um,
what was I going to
yeah.
say regarding like teaching styles? I lost my train of thought. So I guess I'm done.
No, that's okay. I am the same. What was I saying? There was the thing I was going to get at. Right. So I myself, I don't identify as like I respect religions, if that makes sense. I respect again people's choices to make that choice, but I do sometimes feel like it's not a choice depending on different pressures, so on and so forth. I won't get into that though because that is a different type of conversation.
Agreed.
There are so many different factors into it. However, I agree that religion teaches you morals. I don't think it teaches you how to. There are different choices of language, and there's so many different ways someone could interpret the same sentence or the
True.
same wording. So that's where I get to because I'm a big thing about language. As Ash knows, I will go on and on about different language interpretations. But it kind of comes down to that. I see the interconnection themes between religions and the positivity things that it teaches you from the right interpretation. I'm going to use the right interpretation in terms of hope and kindness and understanding and that type of stuff, right?
Hmm.
But it also
Yeah.
teaches you the negatives. However, again, it's up to individual interpretation. I personally don't believe anyone should take anything at face value, even if it is religious reasons and books. I think everyone should question the world around them, no matter what they read, hear, or see. But that might just be me as a person. That's
Absolutely.
just how I personally am in my life. And I'm going to say this, I wasn't taught that. Some of the basics was taught to me, but that came from me. I've always been that type of person. Even when someone goes, you can't do that. From 3 years old, I was questioning my parents going, but why?
Right.
But why? So I agree with the whole, it shapes people, I guess, but I think there's more things at play there than just external factors, I think, is what I was getting at.
Sure. I just think it creates more damage than it does good in the long run. That's all.
I think if you look at history, you could say that, and I'm being this very nice, like from one interpretation. Does that
Pardon?
make sense?
From one interpretation?
I mean, I think it
Yeah.
comes back to even the prompt
What do you
here.
mean?
Why do you have a problem with the trans community? Like, how do you figure out what is right and wrong, or what's moral or immoral? You know,
Yeah.
Well, it's like this. Do you know Christopher Columbus, right?
kind
He was
of.
the guy that allegedly discovered something. Well, when he landed, he landed upon the Taino. I never get this right. Taino people, natives. They were wiped out eventually, but these people, they saw these giant ships come in, and they had no fear. They were just curious. They went out there to these ships, and they have no religion. They have nothing that made them who they are. And they went out there and they freely shared everything they have. In their culture, there were no real possessions. Everything was
Wait,
shared
you're trying to
freely.
say that Native Americans didn't have religion?
Why are you cutting me off mid-sentence?
Because that's not even
But
true.
that's not Native American for number one. It's not. It's the Taino people. Okay. And number two, my point is that they didn't have anybody, they didn't have Christianity teaching them, they didn't have Catholicism teaching them, they didn't have any religion coming there to teach them to be good people, to be moral, to be just, to share, to all their items and what forth. But you know what? The people that discovered them were highly religious, highly guided by religion, and morally guided by religion. And they wiped the people out and took them as slaves and treated them like whatever. So that's what religion does. And the priests were asked about that, and the priests were okay with it. There is writings from the time period where they were questioned and basically said, yeah, it seems like a moral thing to do. So right there, it tells me that religion really doesn't have a moral standard. That's all.
Salty, can I add to that?
Go ahead.
I agree to a certain extent of it, and I get where you're coming at, of course. I think it also is to do with the fact that it comes back to my standing on the general world of, like, it's putting bad people in power who use these things to justify their actions, like religion, for example. I think it's just one way that people in power can justify their immorality, because they can just, and I have seen it, it's historical, as you are saying, times, as with the example you just said, they're like, oh, well, the Bible says it, or this says it. Well, no, again, it comes back to that was their interpretation of it, and they're using it for that, which, of course, I do not agree with at bloody tool, and someone should have stopped them, but hey-ho, what are you going to do? That's history. All we can do is make sure it doesn't repeat itself with having conversations like we're doing now, for example.
Well, the one thing about that was the leaders were religious people. The leaders were the religion. It wasn't like they were taking religious advice. The people funding it were religious.
Oh,
it was
no,
their money. They wanted gold, and they saw gold on their. They would decorate their ears, and they would decorate like different, like they would put. They didn't have a lot of gold, but they would put it on them because it was shiny and they liked it. But they put no value in it whatsoever. But when Columbus's crew saw it, they sent back stories of endless amounts of gold to their religious people financing them, and because of that,
Oh, that's
they
like a
wiped these
crazy
people
tangent,
out.
bro. Like that's not even related to.
What is that? What is the tangent? What is the tangent?
We're not talking about why, like Europeans wanted gold or something.
No, I'm talking
I
about the
understand
religious
it.
leaders. I'm talking about why religion's bad. Religion funded that trip.
Wait, I have a
It wasn't a
counterpoint to that.
tangent.
Okay,
Go ahead.
you have to position yourself.
Writer.
If you're queer, you have to position yourself as likable to everyone else.
Okay.
So you kind of like have to be more of a centrist on religion, even if you hate it. Okay, to make yourself likable.
No,
If you're
you
not
don't have
likable,
to. You don't have to
it's just
sell
not gonna
yourself. That's your interpretation. You don't have to sell yourself short of anything. You just be you, brother.
Well, we're selling ourselves.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get back to my topic if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, sorry, Ash. I was trying to bring it back.
So,
I was
Nick,
having
I
fun. And hey,
appreciate
Robin, when you gotta say fuck, you go ahead and say fuck in the future, okay?
Okay.
You know, or-
Nick, thank you for coming up. I'm gonna try to get back to my background.
okay.
Thank you, Nick.
I respect your right to be religious, Ash. By the way.
Oh, thank you. It's who I am. So
With the comment in the comments, I know I just repeated myself, but you could say the same thing about different things in terms of you could say that the same thing about politics or education.
let's go,
It depends
Alice
on the
first.
people, unfortunately.
Alice, how old are you?
Cass, you don't speak for shit. Do you have a hole or a pole?
Bye child. TikTok, that is a child. Please block them. Thank you. Bye.
You have a whore pole. 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 I don't know. What do you think I have?
Well,
Hi, Alex. Can we have
you know
your
what
age,
you'll have
please?
next
I
time.
apologize if
I
I'm
know I
pronouncing it
sound
wrong.
young, but I'm just a late bloomer, alright? Don't make fun of me. I've waited for ages, so please don't boot me, please.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just gonna ask, what's your age and what's your date of birth?
February 21st, 2008. And what I want to
Hold
know
on.
is,
How old are you?
right. Anyway,
No, no,
please,
no,
I've
no, no,
waited
no,
for
no, no, no,
ages.
no,
Just
no,
let me
no, 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 no,
fucking.
no. You're gonna tell me how old you are again, please. I didn't
He
hear
said
you.
2008.
Okay. Why are you teacupping?
She's ready.
He said 15 though.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Because you
Sorry,
said
you have
eight.
to
Because you
be
said
18 or
18.
older.
You said 18, and then I asked him, and he messed up when he said 2008,
I
I
know.
believe.
Hi, can I get
But
your
I'm
age?
just gonna check.
Yes, ma'am. I'm 51.
Oh, thank you. And do you have a problem with the trans community?
I do not. I just had a couple of things that I just kind of wanted to touch on because I've been sitting here listening to this, and as I'm a 50-year-old guy. I grew up. I'm Gen X. I grew up in the South. What I think a lot of people also, I kind of agree with Salty on religion. I can't deal with it. What I think that a lot of people have a problem with the transgender community is that it's something that they can't easily understand. It's extreme. Like it really is extreme. And it's not day to day. And I honestly feel over the last few years, it's sort of become a culture that's been pushed forward. And maybe there are some people, or at least other people might feel that it's kind of the fashionable thing. And that kind of makes people uncomfortable.
But do you know why maybe it's been pushed forward now?
Well, the same reason that gay culture was pushed forward in the 70s and 80s, and it's been made, the normal thing. I'm not saying that it's wrong,
No, of course, I know that.
but I think people are uncomfortable with that, just like they were uncomfortable with gay people in the 60s and 70s,
Yeah.
and I genuinely think that yeah, people are uncomfortable, but I also think that the culture kind of has gone a little far. Now, do I
How
think?
so?
Well,
How so? How so?
well,
Specifically.
well, mostly it's just social media stuff.
What do you mean? Can you got to be specific when you make a claim. You really do.
Well, well, quite frankly, it's because, and maybe it's just me, but it's just been more and more prevalent.
Huh?
And I feel like,
Prevalent, more prevalent. Yeah, it's been that way because of like the Heritage Foundation and other right wing think tanks.
no, I don't
They
disagree with you, man. We're on the same page.
Yeah, yeah. No. I agree. I know, but I'm saying that's the source. That's why it's so amplified right now.
Sure, absolutely. And I also think that there are people that kind of take advantage of the culture, and maybe we do kind of lead some children in a way that.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean take advantage of it? What does that mean, though?
Well, that was my wrong choice of words. Probably not taking
Okay,
advantage.
okay,
Um,
okay.
I think there are always extreme ends of everything, right? And I do think some folks push no matter what's going on. There's always going to be the people at the bleeding edge of whatever culture is out there, and I think that's sort of.
This is not a new thing, though, bud. This is thousands
I'm
of
not
years
saying
old.
it's new, but social media is relatively new, and this culture has been getting more and more and more prevalent. Which I don't.
Can I ask you why you think that is? Why you think it's become more prevalent?
I don't know. I mean, social media. I think more and more people are comfortable coming out and being who they are, which I totally support.
Well, that's great.
I mean, I don't. I just think that makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah, and people are very soft. I agree with you that they can't handle things because they want to be comfortable. They want it to be their little norm, and if something goes out of that little norm, then they get cranky. You're right. The people are soft, and it's not transgender people. It's these people that can't handle it.
Well, I also
Not the transgender people. They're just existing. That's all they do.
And have
and
for generations.
I sort of also think that you're right. It has a lot to do with religions, and that other person was saying,
They were against the gays in the 70s. They led that. I mean,
absolutely,
it became
100%.
it
It's the
became
same
mainstream, and this is a rehash version of that. This is round two. The gays basically got more or less, they were allowed to marry, etc. Not that I'm trying to speak for the gays here, but some of the rights it came through, and now transgender people comfort in their skin, and generations moving on, they're more comfortable to be who they are and to be recognized. That's
But,
all.
but in fairness, I think we can all agree that transgenderism and even
It's not an
transhumanism.
ism. It's not an ism. It is not an ism.
I'm sorry, whatever. I don't know
It's not. It's the word transgender. It has nothing to do with an ism or any kind of ideology or any
listen,
kind
man,
of thing.
I'm on your side. All I'm saying
I
is
know,
that
but
it's
I'm
more
correcting you.
extreme.
I'm just correcting you when you're incorrect.
Okay. But I think that we can agree that it's more extreme than your average gay
But,
guy. Am I
but
right?
how did it
No,
get
it's
more
not.
extreme?
It's
Well,
not, but go
because
ahead.
you have drugs that are involved. You have surgeries that can be
What
involved.
drugs?
And things of that
Hold on,
nature.
hold on. But not every trans person
I,
is on hormone therapy. Not every trans person um, has surgery.
I agree with you, but also go tell that to the average person. They're not going to understand
Well,
that.
it's up to that. Well, they should get themselves educated. It's not
Well,
up to the transgender
and again,
community
I also
to.
don't
What do you
disagree
know
with you
about?
on this.
Well, what is it
Another way to
that
look
you
at
know
it.
about? Hold on. What is it? What do you know about breeding Holstein cows, for example? What do you know
I
about
know,
the dairy industry? What do you know about cows?
I know zero things.
Okay, if you wanted to know more about it, you would go study up on it,
Sure.
right? That's
See,
what people need to do. It's that simple.
a lot of people are listening, and I'm being honest, especially right now, since somebody took office 15 minutes away from where I live in the White House. He has brought it out. He has said so much misinformation. First, he said there's only two genders. Well, we know there's more than two genders. Next, they're supposed to, on the 28th of this month, they're supposed to uh, pull out a document saying everything the medicine, the medical, the scientists, that everybody have been studying for all these years. They're going to try to debunk it all. And I know how they're going to debunk it because they're going to have RFK and idiots like him. They're going to debunk it, and they're going to put their words into it. They're out there spreading all this hate against our community. We're 1% of the United States, and they're
And
coming after us, and they're coming after us hard right now. They're
and
coming after
I
our rights. They're coming
just
after our medication. They're coming after we can't
so
travel.
I see you trying, Swoop Plane. I see you trying.
well, but you have to understand. I'm just a guy, and I'm an older cat. People.
I'm your age, bud. I'm 52. I'm right there with you.
Hey, I'm 62, so
My thing
I
is,
think I'm the youngest on the panel.
How old are you?
if
I'm
you step
23.
outside yourself
Oh
and
my
look just
goodness,
a
you're a
tiny
baby.
bit, I think as the average person, maybe even the average Christian person, and again, I don't agree with religion just like you don't either. It it's pretty extreme to the outside onlooker,
Can
and
I get
Yeah.
back to what you were saying about why
you're
you
not
think it's
98.
come to the front of like in terms of social media and stuff?
say that one more
Can I
time.
get
I'm sorry.
Sorry. When you said that it's come to the forefront and it's because of social media.
In part, yeah, absolutely, yes, ma'am.
So when you said that, I'm gonna say something now, and I believe this 100%. I actually think it would still be, as your words, prevalent in society, even without social media, because every single time some, I will call it, a twat politician has tried to take away any type of rights, any type of equal rights, that type of stuff, it has been fought back in history. Women's right, ethnic minority rights, this I can't say the other ones, the S word with ethnic minority individuals,
You're right, Ryder.
so on and so forth, right? Every single time in history, people have fought back and protested, right? But it's
Absolutely.
been in a physical form, right? We are now in the age where we can do it on social media, which I actually think provides protection that we never had before. Yes, it also brings the extreme that people can be trolls and can be rude without actually owning up who they are. Absolutely, I agree. But people could do that before social media. Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
So, by the way, I don't mean negatively my tone. This is just how I am with my tone. I don't mean to come across rude
Not
at
no
all.
worries. We're all trying to get along here. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. All good. But that's why I think when people go, oh, it's because of social media, I think it's absolutely bull. because it would still happen without it. I agree that it's more in quote unquote don't have traditional media and so on and so forth reducing what we can put out there as much.
But I do
Media
think that social
enables that
media
autonomy.
produces trends and people follow. You have a bigger audience and a bigger reach, and people can follow trends. And I do think
It hasn't been around that long. You understand?
Yeah, but also in terms
It's
of
only
the word
20 years old.
trends, in the terms of the word
absolutely,
trends
but
as well, they've been around for generations. You could say the same about hairstyles and fashion
You
and
remember the
wearing
80s,
glasses, not
bro?
wearing glasses, so on and so
Remember
forth.
the
So what do you
80s?
mean by trends?
Where's the
don't
beef?
get me wrong. I'm not discounting anyone as humans. I'm just saying that I do think that there have. I do think that people
Say the same. So
follow trends and even extreme, quote unquote, extreme trends. I do think that.
What do you mean? Like people are going to be trans that weren't trans? You
Well,
mean?
it's possible, maybe.
No, it's not. It doesn't work like that.
Oh,
It does. See,
it's
it
not
doesn't work
possible
like that.
I mean, I don't know
due
if
to
it
the
does or
medical.
not.
You're
But
born
I'm not. I'm
trans.
not. I'm not saying
You're
that's what I
swoop,
believe.
swoop,
What
swoop.
I'm
You're born trans. You're born trans. There's no
If
trend.
you mean be transitioning, there are loads of medical guidelines, protocols, so on and so forth, whatever the word you want to call it, individuals have to go through. Same with any type of medication for no matter the gender or age.
Swoop, let me explain this to you real quick. Just like Salty said, we are born this way. Let me and I really mean this, and I want everybody to hear me. See, if I can go back, be conceived in my mother's womb like I was when I was before I was born, and come out and be born again, I'd be born a man, and that's it.
And so you understand, 25 years ago, I had a close friend come to me and we had the conversation that this woman was a man who was born in a woman's body and was absolutely uncomfortable with himself
With
and has since transitioned
herself.
and is, well, she was born a female and became a male.
Okay. You had it right. I'm
So
sorry.
it's
I'm
himself.
sorry.
So yeah, and you know, I understood way back then that this person was completely uncomfortable in his skin. I totally get it. I don't feel that way, and I'm glad. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm glad that has. I don't feel that way. That being said, I do think that people are uncomfortable because of social media, and I do think that
You
maybe it's
can't,
just because it's been forced to the forefront. And
but you can't force. I would not, and I don't know one trans person out here, and I know not too many of them, but a hell of a lot of them, not only on social media but in real life, that would push this on anybody. Because to tell you the truth, does anybody really want to be trans? No. Does anybody
Yeah.
want to go through the hate, everything we go through, just to have our existence? No.
Also,
We just
what you
want
just
to live
said
our life
as a
and be who we are and be left alone.
but I
also
don't
what
think
you
it's trans people pushing it. I think it's freaking. I think it's other
Yeah. Like I said,
okay.
trying to
he
fit
lives in
in.
a there's a White House 15 minutes away from my house, a big White House, and you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And sometimes that's where that orange pampoon hangs out.
Yeah, and that's the guy who's fanning the flames right there.
Yep.
And I
I
just want to say
mean,
about like social media and stuff, and I'm guessing you'll talk about like algorithms pushing it to the front. That is actually statistically inaccurate. Creators such as Ash, so on and so forth, actually
Yes,
get
we
pushed
are
to the
smoking.
back due to algorithm bias. And that's a fact. I'm happy to try and give you some studies, but I'm also happy to give you my thesis when it gets published,
and
which is
I would love to
around.
Very
it
cool.
seems to me like it's been as much culture, or it's become culture as much as anything else, in particular on the left leaning side. I can be totally wrong. It's just what I've
You
kind
are.
of looked at.
It's
I think
Okay,
what
so
you
it's
mean.
It's your fellow Americans, it's your fellow Europeans, it's your fellow people. That's all it is. There's no, they're just
And again,
people.
I can only stress that like I'm an ally. Like I'm good.
Yeah, but there's still a little something. You're doing a little something, and you're still hanging on to some bad information. And you can just let that shit go. It's that easy.
Well, I don't necessarily think I'm hanging on to bad information. I'm just kind of I'm just what I'm observing. That's all.
Well,
Which is misinformation.
And you can
Just
you're going somewhere to observe this misinformation. You're doing it with your friends, the bar, here on this or on Facebook or whatever.
That's what I mean.
Again,
Your
I say
algorithm.
maybe it's my algorithm, and you know,
Yeah.
Could be.
you want to learn the truth?
Could be.
You want to learn the truth? Come into lives like mine. There's so many people out here that are telling the truth about who we are. Come in and ask us questions. If you don't know, ask. It's
And you
okay
can
to ask.
change your algorithms, but it requires you to be a participatory in that. Like, you think when you, for example, when you first get an app, right? It's not blank. Of course it's not. But as you use it more and more, the algorithm bases it on what you like to see. So if you want to be educated more about this type of community, this type of education, you need to go out and look for it in terms of algorithm wise. And it's the same in society. If you don't question things, people aren't going to bring it to their attention. And that is why it's come to the forefront, because politicians, so on and so forth, are spreading so much misinformation and are trying to take away our rights. And I say our because I'm also involved in this personally and connectively, right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm
you know, that's why there's so many different factors to it. I understand where you are coming from, but if you want to continue the education that you're saying you want, and I'm not questioning that, that's just my choice of wording, you need to be proactive in that in your life.
Yep.
No matter your age.
Here's
Yeah.
my
And we welcome you.
And don't take this the wrong way. I don't really care what you do. Like, just be who you are. It's fine.
That's good.
Cool.
It's good. You
That's
know what I
That's a
mean?
good way to go. Good way to be.
Your life doesn't affect me in any way, positive or
There-
negative. Well, right now you
there
guys
you
are
go.
affecting me positively, but I was just trying to give you a little insight on kind of what maybe I see from just kind of a 51-year-old cisgendered
We're
male.
losing you,
That's
Swoop.
good. And look, we welcome it, just, you know, and everything like that, and we appreciate it. But not being rude, I'm trying not to be rude, but
No, I
I'm not
get
gonna
it.
sit here and allow misinformation, even if
Yes.
it's well meaning.
Come on, you're
That's
Gen X.
that's
Do us
what it
proud.
is.
Do Gen X proud. You know, Breakfast Club, those kind of
No,
things. Be like Judd
Yeah.
Nelson.
And again, I
Oh, I
appreciate
love
you guys, and I'm
Breakfast
happy to
Club.
leave everybody the fuck alone, quite frankly. I mean, oops, sorry, bad word, my mistake.
No, dude, you're cool. Bro,
So
you're
don't
Anyways,
cool.
good
No
night,
worries.
guys. I appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, Swoop.
You too. Have a good
Hey,
No
Swoop.
worries. Thank you.
Swoop, before you go,
Yo,
is that you playing the guitar?
it is.
That's cool. I respect that man a lot.
Right on. Last rejection on Facebook. Come see us.
I will do that for sure. Thanks, man.
Right on. No worries. Good night, guys
Good night.
and gals.
night.
They've been wanting to come up. I believe they are part of the community. Hi, can I get your age?
Yeah, I'm 29.
And I don't know.
Actually, 90
I'm
days
the-
away from being 30 years old.
How many?
What?
Hey, you're still young. I'll trade you.
God, I'll take
No. Okay, I'll trade you.
30.
You're
I'd love to have
beautiful.
30.
I'd love to be 30 again. No shit, man.
It's bad that I want to be 30 because it means my education
Well,
career will be like properly
now
in the
enjoy
midst
those.
of its.
No, enjoy those 20s, Robin. I don't want to be 20 again, but you enjoy them.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally
No.
like head deep in dissertation and next year like thesis and proper teacher training. Oh no, but I know it'll be good. But that's just me.
Just think how proud you're going to be of yourself in the end. It's going to rock.
I'm going to
Yeah,
ask. I don't think you do, but I'm just going to ask. Do you have a problem with the trans community?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
I don't have a problem. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say hi.
I did. Well, I'm glad you
love
did.
trans
Well, thank
people.
you. I was going to say, there's a trans flag in your. Is that a trans flag?
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you have a problem in my community, well, we got to have a talk.
No. I work at Starbucks.
Oh, cool. So
I'm like, I fall into too many trans stereotypes. So.
Well, I
Oh,
sent you a follow.
oh, thank you.
Did you ever
I'm
want?
actually Cassie Speaks' friend. They come to my live and we talk sometimes, but I noticed they were muted, so. But I just sat here because I saw they were live. So, and then you guys are all real good people spreading, and
Cassie
keeping
is
some of these people in check, which is nice.
Cassie's a good friend of mine.
Cassie's great.
I met her a long time ago, and we found out we don't live very far from each other, and we love it.
Oh, do you guys ever hang out?
Yeah, we found matter of fact, when I had top surgery, she was my driver.
Oh, cool.
Cassie is currently being a busy bee.
Yeah.
Aw.
But look, I sent you a follow. If you ever want to come back, come back.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, you
Of
guys
course.
can kick me out or whatever.
Have a good night, love.
Bye.
And happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna get my car fixed.
Hey, there you go.
It's your birthday. Come up on the live, and I think if Asha's doing it, and we'll sing you happy birthday.
Oh
come
gosh.
back.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll talk to you in a bit. Hey, I'm on every day, 7 days a week.
But sometimes you take breaks because you also need respite, Ash, which you need to remember.